Hi, my name is s.m.lambert, the inventor and producer of Egmi Evolutional Goddess Mindfulness, a new understanding of life and a new very powerful meditation system that could end all human-made suffering. Egmi is based on a new energy theory called energy-driven evolution theory, based on the second law of energy. Energy drives evolution and everything in the universe as it seeks the most efficient use of itself. The Egmi theory of everything is based on this, as is the practice. I developed the basic practice before energy-driven evolution theory came out, but it gave a solid scientific theory to build the toe around. This vid is an introduction to the Egmi theory of everything. It gives a timeline of evolution of the universe from the Big Bang to where humans began to evolve, and the vid, faulty right brain theory, then explains what went wrong with humans and how to fix it so we can end all human-made suffering. Egmi has a bang to bounce toe where energy is eternal as it moves from singular organised to entropy disorganised, then bounces back and bangs again. The smallest particle, energy, we call solar source energy, makes up everything in the universe. Once the bang happened, driven by energy seeking the most efficient use of itself, the universe began to evolve with matter, space, and eventually planets that could support life. During this process, large viruses, semi-life, evolved, driven by energy seeking the most efficient use of itself. A virus has some consciousness, awareness of its energy efficiency. This is not cognition, thought. Large viruses of the type that could have created life have now been discovered, and this explains why life has not been created, since the viruses that created life evolved past this point on Earth, as it was more energy efficient to use life to survive and evolve. Natural selection would have removed less energy efficient viruses. The first life that came from a virus had an emergent consciousness awareness of its energy efficiency, homeostasis. It interacts with solar source energy, trying to stay in balance and harmony with it. Life evolved driven by energy seeking the most efficient use of itself. Less energy efficient individual organisms, and so species, were removed by natural selection. The next big change came with the evolution of a brain about 500 million years ago. Up until this point, there was no thought, cognition in the universe, unless life with a brain had evolved elsewhere. The first brain was very small. This little fish did not think much, but it had the first mind, consciousness, awareness, interacting with a brain, generating thought, cognition, energy. These basic life forms ran very energy efficiently in mind and body. Less energy efficient ones were removed by natural selection. More energy efficient changes led to new species, and more friendly environments like rainforests led to more energy efficient species. A mind gave much more advantage, and life evolved over a very long time. About 400 million years ago, the first more advanced life moved out of the sea and evolved into the many species we have today, all driven by energy seeking the most efficient use of itself. Lots of different brains evolved. The basic lower animal brain has a part for work, IQ, and a part for fight-flight. This is energy efficient. The lower animal can use its IQ with its consciousness awareness focused on the IQ part of the brain. If it senses danger, its consciousness moves to the fight-flight part of the brain, and it fights or flees. Lower animals select mates based on natural selection. The most energy efficient individuals reproduce. Any non-energy efficient offspring are removed by natural selection. Certain species evolved that had bodies and brains that gave greater advantage with greater mobility and the ability to use tools. This accelerated their evolution. About 3 million years ago, Australopithecus, the first big tool user, began to evolve a much greater IQ in its left brain. This caused fight-flight to begin to evolve into right brain anxiety. Right brain anxiety is imagined fear, so one wastes time and energy thinking consciously or subconsciously of what may happen. One can daydream about doing harmful energy wasting stuff and even do it. Sometime between 3 million years ago and 200,000 years ago, one of our ancestors developed the first right brain anxiety driven mental illness, sin, evil. In the last few years, functional MRIs have shown that most mental illness is generated in the right brain. TMS uses magnets now to increase left brain use to treat most mental illness. The left logical positive brain gives IQ, goodness, enlightenment, brain energy efficiency, evolutional fitness of mind and body. The faulty right brain wastes energy, blocks natural selection, drives most mental illness and all human-made suffering. EGMI maximises left brain use by teaching us to keep our consciousness awareness focused in our left brain. It takes about 6 months to master. Look at the faulty right brain theory vid for more info.